What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we're in the J7W1 Shinden, a tier 4 Japanese fighter with a battle rating of 6.0 in realistic battles. And here we are doing a little bomber hunting. After all, this was a bomber hunter in real life, although it never actually made it into battle. This was designed to take out B-29 bombers, enormous American bombers that were just decimating Japan near what would turn out to be the end of the Second World War. For Japan's side, this was just too late in the war. It just didn't arrive soon enough to save them from what would end up being the B-29 and the atomic bomb. Took down one B-17, teammate took down the second one. But that wouldn't be all. There was actually a lot of B-17s in this particular match. We're going to fast forward and find some more. Well, look at what we have here. Two friends in a squad, flying close to one another in formation, and they've got smoke on. It's almost like they're daring me to shoot them down. So, let's go do that, shall we? Now, approaching a B-17, it's not advisable to go right towards them, especially in this position. We're behind them right now, we're trailing them. If I were to level off and head right towards them, I would be decimated. The 50 cals on the back of those B-17s would tear me up. They'd light me on fire, and I'd be dead. So instead of going that direction, I'm gonna continue to climb. The J7W1, despite only having one engine, it has a very powerful engine mounted in the rear of the plane. There's only one other aircraft in the game that has a pusher-style design, and that's the American XP-55. It's a Tier 2 premium plane that's incredibly expensive. What I believe will eventually happen is the Americans will get a premium J7W1, because according to the CDK, the Content Developers Kit, there is a version of the J7W1 with an American skin, so that it tends to make me to believe that we're going to see a premium American version of this at some point. Whether or not you're going to want to buy it, it's entirely up to you. Flying this plane it's a bit of a challenge, I'm not going to lie. The first couple of matches that I had with the J7W1 were not pretty. I tried to do things that the plane just wasn't capable of. This is not a very maneuverable aircraft. This is purely a boom and zoomer. Fly it just like you would a German Focke-Wulf, and you'll be just fine. The engine is very powerful, and much to my surprise, it takes a long time for it to overheat. I've been running with overheated engines for quite some time, and there's no overheat. There's no countdown yet. So I'm very impressed by the engine. As far as firepower is concerned, you have 4 30mm cannons with 240 rounds of ammunition. Admittedly, 240 rounds, it doesn't seem like a lot, and frankly, it's not. Especially since you're going to be facing a lot of jets primarily. Well, I should say jets and Bearcats, Tempests, B-29s, B-17s, just about everything. But when you face jets, the problem is you're going to be doing a lot of spraying with your shots because it's difficult to catch up to a jet. Don't get me wrong though, this thing is capable of reaching very high speeds. You're going to see me reach some high speeds very soon in the next match here, where I'll actually be pursuing a P-80 jet. And you'll see the incredible speeds that this thing is capable of, even in stock condition. That's right, this is stock. This is not a fully upgraded plane that you would see some other guys fly. Once this thing is fully upgraded, I'm sure it's going to be even better. I'm just biding some time, and here we go. Dropping on the B-17. Oh, gunners are opening up. Boom! There goes the tail. Just that simple. The B-17 damage model is completely messed up. It's sad. The B-17 is in a bad condition right now compared to where it used to be. The other B-17 eventually went down. I didn't actually kill it, but he actually ripped his wings trying to run away, so nobody got the kill. But in the end, we ended up winning that match. In this next match, we are up against primarily fighters. The Japanese team is primarily made up of fighters and a couple of bombers. Technically, the R2-Y2s are bombers, but I mean, come on, they're bombers with 20 or 30 millimeter cannons, for crying out loud. Can you really consider them bombers anymore? So the first couple of targets have been spotted. Bearcats, Tempests, P-80s, Meteors. This is predominantly what you're going to see on the enemy team. Japan always faces the US and Britain. I don't think I've faced a single Russian team while flying the J7W1. There's a Bearcat up high. See, we're at altitude already. It doesn't take long to get up to altitude with this monster single-engine aircraft. However, I'm interested in that P-80. I want to get that thing eliminated. Make my dive. You can look at my speed, already over 700 kilometers an hour. I'm getting awfully close. Got tracer fire. I can't quite put the nose on the target. As we get into the clouds, I'm concerned about ripping. I'm concerned about getting shot down by my teammate. And look at my speed. It's continuing to climb. We're over, even though we're shaking, we're okay. Well over 900 kilometers an hour. This thing is capable of hitting phenomenal speeds. Even keeping in mind this is a stock aircraft. I don't have the wings upgraded. I don't have any of those kinds of things. The fact that this thing can withstand those kinds of speeds is very impressive, and it's a necessity if you're going to face jets. If you're going to be competitive with jets, you need to have some sort of speed, because a lot of the aircraft that you're going to be going up against will have a higher top speed than what some of the other team, or what some of the other fighters on your team will be capable of. This is a very balanced Japanese team. It's not just J7W1s, and it's not just R2Y2s. It's a mixture of R2Y2s, J7W1s, N1Ks, and KD4s. And that mixture of speed and maneuverability is important. If you're considering flying the J7W1 with a squad mate, I recommend having him or her take something else, something other than the J7W1, just so you can have a nice balance in your squad. Because this thing is not a maneuverable aircraft. A B-17 has outmaneuvered me in this thing. The big complaint with the J7W1 is the distinct lack of maneuverability, because it doesn't have a whole lot of elevator authority compared to some of the other aircraft in the game. Normally what you'll do when trying to do a maneuver is you'll stand up basically on your elevator trying to get some assistance in completing that maneuver. However, the elevator, it just doesn't work all that well. Whether or not that'll change in a future flight model patch, I have no idea. I don't think Gaijin has given any information as to how close to finish this flight model is. Right now, the team has slowly been whittling away at these guys. Got a couple of guys left over here. Got a Meteor and an F8F. Looks like the N1K is booking it to the runway to get repaired. Leaving quite a little smoke trail behind him. Bearcat and Meteor right here. I do have teammates here that'll give me a hand. It's all a matter of deciding which one to go for, which one looks more vulnerable. And that Bearcat looks kind of vulnerable. He's smoking. He's probably on his last bit of fuel. Probably got a fuel leak after taking some shots. Making a dive on him. Bearcat is far more maneuverable than this thing, so I do have to be concerned with that. Or he is low. Yeah, I just can't quite get in there. If I overcommit, I'll end up splashing down. Alright, Meteor has crashed. Not sure what the hell happened to him. Made my dive on the Bearcat. You just have to zoom and climb away. You just have to keep patient. It's just like when you fly a Focke-Wulf, you just have to remain patient. If you miss your initial attack, you just have to climb away. Use that speed, turn it into altitude, turn around, head back to your target, make your second dive, and rinse and repeat. It's all a part of booming and zooming. Booming and zooming takes patience and discipline. If you lack either one, you're going to end up screwing up and getting yourself into a turn fight. And getting into a turn fight with a J7W1 against a Bearcat, it's not going to end very well. You got R2Y2 friend over here. He and I are going to work on this Bearcat together. R2Y2 makes his dive. I make my dive. R2Y2 missed. I start wobbling all over the hell because of the packet loss, you know, thanks to the servers. He stupidly flies straight. Not sure why. He almost lost that because I did nick his plane. But here I don't follow him through the turn because I just don't have that kind of maneuverability. The Bearcat is a far more maneuverable aircraft than the J7W1, and I just can't do it. I just can't hang with that kind of maneuverability. I don't have the elevator authority. Of course, here comes another Bearcat. R2Y2 is getting some altitude. I'm definitely going to need some help over here. Call up the target to the R2Y2. He makes his dive. I make my turn and subsequent dive. He went for one F8F. I was going to go for whichever one was alive. He misses. The Bearcat turns to intercept. R2Y2 goes evasive, setting up this Bearcat perfectly for me. And before the Bearcat could do anything, he's dead. Beautiful setup by the R2Y2. I love showing off moments like that because it just goes to show you that you don't have to have some sort of voice chat in order to work as a team. You just have to know what one another is doing and be ready to react. That was like perfect. You couldn't ask for a better setup than that. And now the R2Y2 is having a little fun at the Bearcat's expense for that nice little setup. I got one more F8F over here. Poison. R2Y2 is joining up with me on my right. And frankly, it's just a matter of time before we manage to take this guy down. Despite the Bearcat being an incredible aircraft, it's only capable of doing so much when it's outnumbered and it's given up all of its altitude like this. Probably his best chance is to get us near his ships and let that flak take us down. See, there are only two guys left. When chasing down this Bearcat, I was really hoping he wouldn't get too close to those ships. Because I don't know about you, but I get some bad luck every now and again when I get near ships. I always seem to get shot down. There's another Bearcat coming in. He's near his ships. He may have tried to land and repair. There we go. Finally getting the engine counting down. Had to cut the throttle back. The engine is only capable of going so far. I've been weaponing it for a good portion of this match. I think that Bearcat's a little suicidal. He's going head on with the N1K. Going head on like this is usually a sign of desperation. And Bearcat, he's only got one other Bearcat friend left, so he's feeling it. I make my dive. One shot takes the wing clean off. That's the second kill of this match. F8F goes head on. I don't really care even if I died, I knew I still had teammates left who would have finished him off. So if I die, it's not a big deal. I'm more interested in us winning than me living. Now we're all descending on this poor Bearcat. Poison doesn't have much of a chance. I crit him. Can't quite finish him off. Teammates surround him. I get the kill assist. Great game, guys. That was excellent teamwork there at the end, working together not only with these guys but the R2I2 for that earlier setup on that Bearcat. So to get back to the J7W1, I think it's a really good plane. It's better than I expected it would be. I didn't touch this plane for a long time. It looks funky. It feels a little funky. But those cannons are devastating. I recommend getting the cannon upgrades as quickly as you can because you want to get rid of those practice rounds because those are for all intents and purposes useless. But the J7W1 climbs quite well, and if you get into a nice balanced Japanese team, you're going to do quite well for yourself. It just may take you a little while to get accustomed to how the plane handles. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this gameplay. If you had to hit that thumbs up button, and of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.